Curry. They got you, don't you worry. If you were in a hurry, about Curry and Klapow.
What just happened?
Huh? Klapow, no matter
what day is it? Who are you? What just happened? Am I really here?
You up north of Gardendale or down south past Vestavia. Turn up your sound and listen well, cause we got something to say to you. Curry and Klapow, they in the know. Their topics cover A to Z. So whether you drive fast or slow, just sit on back and feel the beat. Oh no! It's Curry and Klapow.
Yeah, when your kids get a little older, you're not supposed to be spending 17 hours straight building Lego sets around the kitchen table. I'm actually glad it's Monday. I'm glad to be back at work. We didn't take any time off around here. It's classic rock the bone, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It is Dark Side of Monday, Dark Side of the Pooch Monday. Dr. Rab Stewart from Rossborough General Hospital will be with us at noon and 8 this afternoon, talking about some of your pet care. And we have shows all week long, all brand new shows. Lots of great classic rock and roll to get into, and we'll do it right now here with Pearl Jam, the Kurre and Klapow Show on Kurre and Klapow. Good morning, brothers and sisters. How you doing? I know it's, what day is it? Man, I love the fact, Tony Kurre Radio, by the way. I am Tony Kurre, the Kurre and Klapow Show. I love the fact that Christmas fell on a Saturday, and I love the fact that New Year's Day falls on a Saturday because then you got the next day. A lot of people like to get back after work, or they have to go back after work. And you got that Sunday. You're like, whoo, it's kind of nice, right? A little buffer action there before you have to get back after it on Monday. And I hope you enjoyed your beautiful Christmas vacation. We certainly did here in the Kurre household. It's the last time I think I buy Legos. Or maybe not. I read a very interesting story about Legos and how they're worth their weight in gold. If you're one of those people that wishes you had held on to your baseball card collection and your albums, you want to hear this story. My daughter asked for, from Santa Claus, asked for one big-ass Lego set. I was like, all right. So I talked to Santa Claus, and we spent, and I don't know, normally it's like puzzles. We used to have puzzles, right? I mean, people don't have puzzles anymore. And you get like a 5,000-piece puzzle, and you work on it a little bit, and you get frustrated, and you quit, right? And the only reason you want to finish it up is because it takes up the whole damn kitchen table. You're eating around it, you're moving it around. So my daughter, for whatever reason, got on this Lego kick yesterday, and I thought it was kind of therapeutic, and then I thought it was more like ADD. We worked on that damn thing for like 12 hours yesterday with some Ice Palace, some Elsa and Anna thing. And I don't know if I ever want to see a Lego again, unless you invest in Legos. I'll get into that story a little bit later on the show right here. Also, brand new research coming out, and there's a lot of research, a lot of grants about what we actually did during the pandemic, how we're going to deal with the pandemic. It's going to be long-lasting. It's going to be life-changing. Normally, it takes about 90 days to start a brand new habit. In our particular case, we've been, locked up, masked, mandated, whatever you want to call it, for like the last 2 years. And so there's a lot of things changing in our lives, and we don't even know it. We don't even see it. We're different people. We just don't know it. And you're like, I ain't different. Yeah, you are. There ain't no new normal anymore. This is the new normal. And we're finding out now that a lot of people who are incredibly healthy do this a lot more than people that aren't healthy. I'll talk about that, which seems counterintuitive or counter-reactive. We'll talk about that as well. And also, I want to mention, I love me some McDonald's. My kids love McDonald's. I didn't eat a lot of McDonald's growing up. My mom would go down and maybe once a week we have McDonald's, which doesn't really sound like a lot because I know some people eat there 3-4 days a week. It's economical, right? You can get a whole meal for like $20. Can't do that anywhere else. And I love it. And there's a woman that works up at the Valleydale McDonald's whose name is Barb, and I love her. I love her. She's great, and I love that store. I go to that store all the time. It's right up the street. So yesterday, we go out for lunch, and there's about, and it's 2:30 in the afternoon. I'm thinking 2:30 is usually pretty slow. Ain't nothing going on at McDonald's 2:30 in the afternoon. But there's like 8 cars in front of us. It's going kind of slow, and I thought, this is kind of weird. They only have one lane open because there ain't no workers up there. I mentioned last time I went up there were like 2 women up there. They were in their 90s. I'm serious. They were like, one was 92 and one was 94. They were working at McDonald's. So anyway, so I get there, and so I pull up, and the first thing, and it's Barb. I recognize her voice. She goes, she didn't know it was me. She's like, hey, listen, just want to let you know all we have today is chicken nuggets and fries. What? What? I I said, excuse me? She said, hey, Tone. She goes, all we got is chicken nuggets and fries. I said, and I didn't even know what to say. I was looking around for cameras. I was like, is this a joke or something? I've been to I used to work at chicken restaurants. I've been at chicken restaurants when we ran out of chicken. It happens. I mean, it does. When you get just like hammered and your truck is late, I get it. I've been to an IHOP where they ran out of pancakes. I know, right? It's like, how's that even possible? Go get some more batter, right? I've never been at a McDonald's where they ran out of hamburgers. And I was kind of like dumbstruck. And that's why it was taking the line so long, because people were just like sitting there going, what? It's like it was hard to process. I was like, huh? No hamburgers at McDonald's yesterday. And I don't think it was a container truck thing. I just think it was right after the holidays, and I just don't think they had any beef. And I was like, are you serious? She's like, yeah. And I was like, okay. And you could tell she was over it, because she had to tell about 30,000 cars an hour, hey, we have no Big Macs. Welcome to the home of the Big Mac. Would you like fries with that? They had no hamburgers. It was the craziest thing. And again, I'm kind of like, I wasn't pissed. I wasn't angry. I was so dumbfounded. That it was like walking into a jewelry store and they're like, I'm sorry, we have no jewelry today. I'm like, what? Did you just say what I heard? Did you just say what I thought you said? Anyway, I'll be back to McDonald's later on this afternoon. We'll see if we can get some burgers. It's kind of strange. It is Dark Side of the Pooch Monday. Every Monday, we do Dark Side of the Pooch with Dr. Rab Stewart from the Rossbridge Animal Hospital. It'll be on at noon at 8. Tomorrow is Adapter Parish Day. Adapted Gents, Dr. Alex Hubline and Dr. Josh Klapow. Last show of 2021. We'll kick off another year next year in 2022. Great business show. Goes off at noon and 8 on Tuesday. Live Wire Wednesday going on Wednesday nights at 8 o'clock, brought to you by Southern Precision Staffing for all your staffing needs. 205-682-2828. Kai Greger and his staff, they bang it up, man. They're getting after it. They cannot wait for 2022. Thursday, Austin Hanks, Blues Almighty at noon and 8. We'll have a brand new show this Thursday. And then, of course, the Damon Johnson show. By the way, I hope you enjoyed the Damon Johnson thing. We did a Damon Johnson Rockin' Christmas Eve special on Christmas Eve. It was 2 hours of great. We had Cheech and Chong on. We had Bob and Don McKenzie on. We did some. What else did we do? We had Frank Sinatra on. We had all the big ones, but we also did some ones you just don't hear on the radio very often. It was fantastic. It was great. It was so good that I replayed it like 6 times on Christmas Day because people were opening up Christmas presents, stuff like that. So I hope you enjoyed that, and we will podcast that, as a matter of fact, coming up next week, where you can listen to all of those wonderful tunes that you heard on Christmas Day. Heck, we may play it again next year. It was that good. I don't think we'll have to do another one. It was awesome. First time I heard that song there from Possum Kingdom and the Toadies, I was like, it's a good song, a little Christian song. It says a lot of Jesus stuff in there. And then the dying part, you watch the video and you're like, what the hell? It's like, wow. It's not a video you want your kids to probably see. It's Tony Kurre here, the Kurre and Klapow Show. We're on from 7:30 to 9:30. Happy day after Boxing Day. It's December 27th, Monday. I know. I don't know what day it is. I love when major holidays fall on Saturdays, because then you get Sunday off, you get another day to kind of buffer up a little bit, kind of recharge your batteries, and we're into it. I know a lot of people are probably off this week anyway. We're getting after it here on the Kurre and Klapow Show and Tony Kurre. Got a full week of brand new shows. Dark Side of the Pooch is going to go off at noon and 8 today with Dr. Rab Stewart. And then, of course, we have Blues Almighty coming up on Thursday with Austin Hanks, a brand new show there, and Damon Johnson's show coming up on Friday. Killer rockin' Christmas Eve special we did on Christmas Eve. It was so good, I replayed it all day on Sunday or Saturday. So there you go. It was incredible. We played some Christmas tunes you just don't get a chance to hear very often, and it was eclectic. It was different. It was off the wall. We played everything from Vince Guaraldi to Crash Test Dummies to Bruce Springsteen to Billy Squier. It was great. It was super. I hope you get a chance to listen to that. We'll podcast that later next year. If you want to listen to Christmas music in January, so be it. We'll get into it right here on Tony Kurre Radio. It's great stuff. We're going to go Facebook Live in just a couple minutes here. Got a study on Legos that I think are really interesting. I spent 12, 13 hours on a Lego thing. My daughter's 9. She's like, I want a monster Lego set. And I was like, great. And it's great when you're a parent, you want to give your kids things they can work on so you can take a break. So I was like, killer. I'll get her this Lego set. It had like 7,000 pieces in it. And I thought, she'll be working on that thing all day. I got my kid at train. He'll be working on his train. My other kid just sleeps all the time. And then I can just chill out. Stick my hand inside my elastic pants and watch some TV. And, of course, that doesn't happen when you're talking to Legos because next thing you know, you're building things. So we were up to like midnight last night doing Legos. But I got some good news about you Lego people out there. It's the new puzzle. I will say that I actually enjoy doing Legos myself. I have had Legos ever since I was 2, old enough to stick them up my nose. We got some great news. They're worth their weight in gold. Details after Thin Lizzy here on Tony Kurre Radio. Good morning. Welcome in. It is, by the way, if you got your days all messed up, I just mentioned a few minutes ago Tony Kurre Radio on the Tony Kurre Radio app. I love holidays falling on Saturdays. How cool is that, right? I know a lot of people like holidays to fall during the week because you can take vacation on either side. You take the whole week off. It doesn't count against you. I get that. But for people, you got to get after it every single day, and we're working all week. I worked on Christmas Day. I love it. We're doing our thing here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week here on Tony Kurre Radio. To have it fall on Saturday, and then you get Sunday. It's like that buffer day, and then you get back after it. It's Monday. It's Monday, the 27th of December. I hope you had a fantastic Christmas. Remember the reason for the season. It's not over yet. It continues, the 12 days of Christmas. We got the Epiphany coming up, so God bless you, and all of those are good things. I hope you had a great Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Merry Christmas, and all those good things. I hope you enjoyed it. Like most of us, I was up to my ass in Legos yesterday. My 9-year-old daughter asked Santa Claus for the biggest Lego set she ever got. And as a parent, that's great because when your kids get to be 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, they start getting into things, they start doing things themselves, and then you get them something where basically they're going to be playing all day, and you sit around with your hand inside your elastic pants and you watch football. And that's what I was thinking I was going to do. And then she got this monster Lego set, the Elsa and Anna castle thing. It was like kind of 17 feet tall. It was like actual size. And so, the minute I get my chair and I start dozing off, Dad, I need some help in here. So we did Legos for like 22 hours straight. It was great. We had a wonderful time. I got some great news for people who sold their baseball cards and their albums. Don't sell your Legos. I'll give you some details on that coming up in just a few minutes right here on Tony Kurre Radio. And also, we have some 2022 trends. And this is coming out of Japan. Those Japanese people are crazy. They've created a brand new TV that will do this. I'll tell you about that coming up in just a few seconds. I'm a very compassionate person. I'm understanding. Little things don't get on my nerves. You'll never see me break out on an airplane flight or in a restaurant because the fork is dirty or there's a fly in my suit. I don't care. Or I won't wear a mask, whatever it is. I'm not one of those guys. I just kind of sit back and pick your battles, right? Pick your battles. But I went to McDonald's yesterday. And I love this McDonald's, by the way. So I'm not saying this to hammer on McDonald's because I get it. I understand. I worked in the fast food industry. I worked at Kentucky Fried Chicken once, and we ran out of chicken. People are like, how the hell do you run out of chicken when you're at a Kentucky Fried Chicken? It happens. It happens. But I went through the drive-thru McDonald's up here in Valleydale, and the gal who runs the joint, she's the manager. She is great. I love her. I'm not saying this to get her in trouble. It's not her fault. Her name's Barb. She's killer. I love this woman. She's always super even keel, super nice. I pull up to the drive-thru. There was like 9 cars in front of me at 2:30 in the afternoon. I'm thinking, okay, this is kind of weird. There's a lot of traffic here at McDonald's for 2:30 in the afternoon. Usually you can just fly right through, get a Big Mac and get a number 1 with extra mac sauce. You're good to go, right? She comes on. She goes, before you take your order, sir, and she didn't know it was me. Before you make your order, sir, I want to let you know all we have is chicken nuggets and fries. What? I was like, I was so dumbfounded. I couldn't even, I was like, huh? She's like, all we have is chicken nuggets and fries. That's it at McDonald's. I was like, that Beyonce thing must not be going pretty good, right? And I was dumb. I was dumbfounded. I've seen a lot of weird things. I've been to Waffle House where they ran out of waffles. I've been at IHOP, they ran out of pancakes. I've been to a chicken place, they ran out of chicken. But I've never been to a burger place where they actually run out of beef. And I said, are you serious? And she said, Tony. I said, Barb. And I said, what's going on? She said, man, we don't have anything but chicken nuggets and fries. Funny thing is, people are like, hey, give me the chicken nuggets and fries. It's a great way to force some type of new product down someone's throat. And I was like, I tell you what, we're kind of in the mood for meat. We need some protein after being hopped up on chocolate kisses and M&Ms the last 3 days. We need some burgers, but God bless McDonald's. I'll be back there again today. My kids love to eat there 3-4 days a week, but I was like, I've never been to a McDonald's. Have you ever been to a McDonald's where they ran out of Big Macs? I've never seen it. It's kind of weird. All right, so we had this Lego-thon thing. I love Legos. I've been building Legos since 1968 when I was 2 years old, when I was old enough to stick them up my nose and up my butt. I love Legos. We didn't have all the windows and the tires and the wheels and the cars and all that stuff, or even the kits. All we had was the bricks, right? You had to be creative. So all you had was the regular size bricks. You build things out of bricks, and sometimes you just build art. You just build towers, and they're not even buildings. You just build things out of bricks, and we'd sit around a box of Legos for like 3 or 4 days, man. It was great. Now, of course, you got everything. You can do Beetle 3D images. You can do any type of building. You do stadiums. You can do, if you're a parent, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So forget blockchain. Investors are now looking into Legos for long-term investments. They appreciate faster than the price of gold. They're worth their weight in gold. Researchers in Moscow's Higher School of Economics found retired Lego sets appreciated in value at nearly 12% annually from 1987 to 2015, more than gold, stocks, or bonds. All of a sudden, you're like, where's my Legos? Protect the Legos. Lego sets pricier over time thanks to high collectible value combined with diminishing supply, the report said. Legos are discontinued after a few years, so they'll make a Lego set, and they're very topical. And if you go to the Lego store, which I did, there's like a million different Lego sets. You get to the point now where you can just put in Falcon Millennium or something from Star Wars or a movie or what. Just put anything in a Lego set, and you could probably build it. Lego prices are relatively unaffected by the stock market, the study says, and increased during the 2008 financial crisis. And, of course, they surged big time during COVID-19 pandemic as kids and adults using the building sex to cope with long stays at home. The study's author said Lego bricks could be as worthwhile an investment as jewelry, antiques, or other artwork. One large set netted a $2,230 price return over 8 years. 2,230% increase in 8 years. The company's popularity among nostalgic adults is one reason for the financial viability of its products. They're saying now, if you really want to get into something and have something go up in price, could you imagine something giving you a 2,000% return in 8 years? I'm all in. The problem with Legos, though, is this, is once you build the sets and you're done, it's like a puzzle. A puzzle you can just put back in the box and then redo it again. When you build like a Lego castle, which we built yesterday, it was like something big enough you could actually crawl inside and take a nap. You can't put it all in the box again, and you got the directions, but everything comes in bags. So you can't, unless you're putting all the Legos back in the individual bags, and there were 17 bags this Lego set, it's impossible to do that. Tony Page, good morning to you, and also Hal Vincent, thanks for watching this morning. You can't put them back in the bag. So once the Legos are done, and then inevitably someone's going to trip over it, knock something off, and then you can't remember how to put it back together again, and so you put the Lego set. So Legos is onto something here, because once you break one of those bad boys, unless you're going to leave it up or put it on and Legos are meant to be played with, right? So you're not going to build a Lego set and then just have it sitting on a shelf or something, are you? Anyway, after putting 22 and a half hours into this ice castle, I'm putting this thing in the basement, and no one's going to touch this thing. Also, interesting story, and I think this is great. It's a 2022 trend. I'm always trying to look ahead. That's why the eyeballs are in front. A Japanese professor has created a prototype TV screen. I've seen these TVs now that roll out. Everything's so much more. Back in our day, this is my get off my lawn moment. A 27-inch tube TV was the biggest TV you could own, and it was $8.99. And if you had a 27-inch tube TV, you were the man. You were getting it whenever you wanted it, man. If people were coming over to your house, you were the guy throwing the Super Bowl party. You were the guy watching all the big games. You were the guys watching the movie. 27-inch tube TV was it. Now for $8.99, you can get something that can go from one side of the room to the other. This prototype TV enables viewers to not just see and hear the content, but to taste it too. There'd be a lot of interesting TV watching in my house when I'm alone, if I could taste the TV. It's called Taste the TV. Viewers can now enjoy a brand new sensory edition thanks to a 10-flavor carousel that, when combined, can imitate specific food flavors from chocolate to pizza. Once mixed, the flavor combination rolls over the TV screen via hygienic film for consumers' licking pleasure. You actually lick your television screen. The boob tube licking food feature is intended to enhance connection-starved watchers' ability to connect and interact while limited by coronavirus restrictions. I can tell you this. I probably sit in front of my TV more than most people, probably 6-7 hours a day like most of us. I have not one time thought in my life I'd like to eat that right. Well, I have, actually. I've actually seen some things on TV that I'd actually like to lick, and it wasn't all food. But there have been moments where I thought to myself, that looks good, I like to make that, but I've never thought to myself to get up out of my chair and go lick my television. The goal is to make it possible for people to have the experience of something like eating at a restaurant on the other side of the world, even while staying at home. During a demonstration of the TTTTV, it's 3 T's and a V, a student volunteered to demonstrate the screen's lickability. After repeatedly telling the device she wanted to taste some sweet chocolate, an automated voice eventually repeated back the request, and flavors jets squirted out a substance onto the plastic sheet. You want to end COVID, or do you want to keep it going around for the rest of our lives? If you have a big licking party over at your house and you got 30 people licking the same TV screen, go imagine. It's kind of like milk chocolate, she said. It's sweet like chocolate sauce. He also reportedly is in talks with companies interested in applying the TTTV technology to real-world foods using the lickable film concept to create a device capable of applying a vanilla or pizza-like flavor to bread, so you can actually walk in restaurants, have a screen up on the wall, and they're like, I'd like to have a taste of that. That looks delicious. What does it taste like? And you can actually go up and lick the television. Go figure. Final story this morning here on Tony Kurre Radio, the Tony Kurre Radio app. And by the way, don't forget, today is Dark Side of the Pooch Monday. It's one of my favorite days. Every day is one of my favorite days. Dr. Rab Stewart from the Rossbridge Animal Hospital is going to be joining us at noon and 8 for a brand new Dark Side of the Pooch. It's a pet care show. It's fantastic. It's a great show. We do a lot of mutt mail. You can go to TonyCurryRadio.net, TonyCurryRadio.net, and leave your email questions, and we'll read them on air at noon and 8 on Mondays right here, Dark Side of the Pooch. Tomorrow, Adapter Parish, Adaptogents, Dr. Alex Hoopline, and Dr. Josh Klapow do that show at noon and 8. We do Live Wire Wednesday, brought to you by Southern Precision Staffing for all your staffing needs, 205-682-2828, 205-682-2828. If you're looking for some staffing needs, you need some staffing needs, construction or anything else, Southern Precision Staffing will get it done for you. Your word and your handshake still means something. They're right here in Hoover, but they serve the United States of America just like Tony Kurre Radio does in the Tony Kurre Radio app. Listen to that on Wednesday. Blues Almighty with Austin Hanks, a great blues show at noon and 8, and then the Damon Johnson show coming up on Friday at noon and 8 as well. Brand new shows all this week at noon and 8, and of course we do classic rock 24/7. A study published in the Journal of Medicine and Science and Sports and Exercise has found out, and they did age ranges from 20 to 86. They took 38,000 healthy patients ranging in that age and asked them to gauge their athleticism based on a 1 or 2 or 3 scale. 1 being, you move around a little bit. 2, moderately, a couple days a week. And then 3, I like to work out at a gym. I have a gym membership. I work out 3 or more times a week. Then they compared those 3 areas to how much they drank over the last 5 years. And they found out that adults who engage in the most physical activity are also the ones that tend to drink the most. The study demonstrated that women with moderate and high fitness levels are more likely to consume moderate or heavy amounts of alcohol. Low amounts would be 3 drinks a week. 3 to 7 is moderate, and anything over 7 drinks a week is considered heavy. Similarly, the men with moderate and high fitness are more likely to drink moderate and heavy alcohol. This apparent contradiction between engaging in a healthy behavior such as physical activity on the one hand and partaking in unhealthy behavior such as drinking in excess on the other hand can potentially be explained by the psychological phenomenon known as licensing effect, which basically says, I've been working out, I'm hungry, I'm going to eat the side of beef. So when you're working, you know how it is when you first start getting into the gym, you start working out and you're like, well, I'm working out so I can start eating more, and that's what you do. So in this particular case, they're saying that a lot of people drink a lot more because they work out a lot more. And if you don't work out a lot more, then you won't drink as much. I think I'd probably just drink more is what I do here. Take your whiskey home, Van Halen, on the Tony Kurre Radio app. Tony Kurre Radio, you're over the Kurre and Klapow Show, Adapter Parish, Dark Side of the Pooch on Mondays and noon and 8, Blues Almighty on Thursday, Damon Johnson Show on Friday, Live Wire Wednesday. On Wednesday at 8 o'clock, couldn't do without our great folks at Chris Dorsey State Farm Team. Chris Dorsey State Farm Team, they've been around forever. I signed up with him on Christmas Day in 1988, so I just celebrated my 33rd anniversary with Chris, and I don't take that lightly. I've been covered for everything. I've had my son bring the hose in the house. I've crashed into the side of the house. I had a Christmas tree on top of the car and took the garage door down. I've had a tree hit the house. I've lost my wedding ring, a whole host of things. Accidents will happen. Make sure you're covered and make sure you're good to go with State Farm. You get the brand name and you get the best agent in the country. He's long recognized one of the top 10 agents out of 18,500 State Farm agents in this country, and you get the best of the best, and it's not going to cost you out the nose to get it done. 205-985-7799, 205-985-7799. It's Chris Dorsey's State Farm Team. Speaking of these shows, we're working on 3 more shows we're going to unveil in January. If you've got any ideas for some shows, or maybe you even want to do a show on Tony Kurre Radio, go to TonyKurreRadio.net. Email me, become a bonehead. Email me your ideas, and I'm certainly to listen. We've got just 3 more killer shows coming up in January that I'm super excited about. I like to do shows that are self-fulfilling and helpful at the same time entertaining, and that's what we do here. We got a lot of rock and roll shows we do, and of course we do shows about finances and everything else, but it's super cool, and we'll continue to do that in January right here on Tony Kurre Radio. It's not a life of illusion by any stretch. It's good stuff. Life of Illusion, Joe Walsh by request from There Goes the Neighborhood. It's Monday, December 27th, by the way, in case you don't know what year, what day, or what the hell's going on. I got you covered. Tony Kurre Radio, TKR, your home for the Damon Johnson Show, Blues Almighty, Adapter Parish, Dark Side of the Pooch going off today, noon and 8. And of course, Live Wire Wednesday on Wednesday nights, all AC/DC from 8 until 9 o'clock. I guess the next big thing now is New Year's resolutions, huh? Right at this point, you know, when it's kind of like a Lent. In Catholicism, we have Lent. And when you get tired of giving things up or you just start changing your life. You're like, well, rather than give something up I love, I'll just start doing extra. And I think after going through a pandemic for the last 2.5 years, more and more people are like, the hell, giving up my vices. I think I'll just start doing a little extra, which will be a good thing too in 2022. Me personally, I'm giving up building Lego sets after Christmas Day. My fingers still hurt from all those damn little things. We did a story this morning. If you have invested in Legos and you bought some of those original kits, that's the problem is when you buy those things, you're going to be taking them out of the box, you're going to build them. And the problem with Legos is when you build a Lego set, you can't put them back in the box. You know, when you got puzzles, you put them back in the box, you can build them like 6 or 7 different times. When you got Lego sets, they come in 17 different bags. There's no way to put the pieces back in them. You can't stick the toothpaste back in the tube. So once you build it, you either put it up on a shelf and just look at it, which ain't got to do with Legos, or you just take the pieces and you use it as like scrap, which is what we got. We got the scrap box now. We got like pieces that won't fit anything, but only fit one particular. Legos got it going on. Anyway, if you invest in the Legos, like in 2015, we're just talking like 6-7 years ago, some of those Lego sets you bought in 2015 have had a 2,000% increase in value. They're saying it's better than gold at this point. So think about that. Next thing you think about selling your Lego set. I was out shopping on Christmas Eve with a friend of mine. They went that, was it called Fifth and Charles? What's that place called there across from the Galleria? And he wanted to go buy an album for his girlfriend. He wanted to go buy Infinity from Journey. I said, certainly you can find Infinity from Journey. I would think it'd be out there $75. I'm like, $75? Really? What are you talking about? Anywho, I hope you had a fantastic holiday, great Christmas, and I hope you got the whole week off. We're going to be rocking and rolling with you every single day this week from 7:30 to 9:30. Dr. Josh will be back in 2022 here on Tony Kurre Radio.